It is spring, it feels like spring, I am ready for spring, and with spring comes planting flowers. Not only flowers, but other things, but I am going to plant flowers. And in order to get ready for that, I need to harden off my flowers, which I have been doing. I'll go into that later, but I have been hardening off my flowers, which basically just means getting them acclimated to the sun, because when you put flowers out into the sun after they've been in a greenhouse or inside somewhere, they can burn very easily. So I have been hardening off my flowers, and tonight is the first night that they are actually going to spend the night outside, where tomorrow I'm going to be planting them in my front flower bed. These are not all of the flowers that I actually started for my spring garden. Most of them got wiped out by the mouse that was in my greenhouse. This is pretty much what's left. So when these go in the garden, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to throw some seeds out there as well, because this is about half of what I would have liked to have had. I am going for a cut flower garden that brings in all kinds of pollinators and things that I can cut and bring to work with. So I'll be back to show you how these flowers fared overnight, and we will start planting. So it looks like my little flowers did pretty well overnight, so I am going to plant them. But first I will tell you what I am going to plant, and then what seeds I'm going to toss out there as well. So I have some black hollyhocks, some champagne hollyhocks, some zinnias. I don't know what zinnias these are. I planted red queen zinnias, lime green zinnias, and pink zinnias, and I only labeled about half of them, but I know that the rest of these are zinnias. I just don't know which ones. There's a little bee. And so I'm fine with that. So this is what I am going to be planting today. So this is my front flower bed here, and I'm just now noticing something in here that I don't know what it is. I don't know if that is a weed or if that is a hollyhock, because I thought I planted them here last year but never grew any. But the leaves look very similar to the little hollyhocks that I have planted, so I think I'm going to leave that for now. But anyways, these are all gladiolas that have definitely spread over the last, I don't know, 2 years or so. All these are babies here, and then over here. These right here, I have one here and one over there. These are clones. I actually cloned these from a clipping of the mother tree or the mother bush that I bought, and then I cloned these with tiny little clippings that I took, and now it has grown into a very large, beautiful tiger's eye Abutilon. And the bees and the hummingbirds absolutely love them. I love them. Anyways, so then I have a lavender plant in here. I do have dahlias in here, but I haven't seen any of them come up yet. I did add a bunch of soil in here. I'm not sure what that is. That might be a dahlia. I think this is lemon balm. And then I don't know what this is. It's some sort of cucumber or melon or something. It just popped up there. Another lavender offshoot here. And then these right here, here, pretty much spread throughout here are tulips. And I actually got those from my boss. She bought all of us in the office tulip plants last year for Easter, and I took the seeds or the bulbs and I planted them. And then this I think is milkweed. I think these things come out of the ground with aphids on them. But these are going to be really great pollinators, and it looks like it's spreading, which is nice. I'm hoping that the aphids will be attracted to that and not so much everything else in here. And that's also what the monarch butterfly eats. So I'm hoping to have some monarchs. So these are the pink zinnias. These are the black hollyhocks, queen lime red, champagne hollyhocks, and queen lime zinnias. So these are the ones here that I have. And then I am going to spread cosmos, calendula, aster over in the bed. And then these here I'm going to actually start in my greenhouse. And then I think I'm just going to toss in some teddy bear sunflowers, some of the smaller sunflowers. I do have the large sunflower head, but once those things start dying off, they kind of look ugly. So I don't know, but I want to plant them. I just don't know where. Okay, so I've got my dowel. I've got everything pretty much labeled, and I'm going to be pretty strategic about where I want to plant these things. So I'm going to grab a couple and then move over to the flower bed. Anything I don't want, I'm just going to come through and pick, because like this stuff is just coming up and kind of volunteering itself. So I'm not too concerned about that. I do want to have my plants sort of evenly distributed. So, and I want to be careful not to disturb whatever this little thing is right here. All right, this is what I'm looking like, and see how similar those look. So I actually think this is a hollyhock here that's already growing. So I think I'm just gonna leave that. But this is what I'm looking like as far as where I'm gonna plant these things. And this area right here does get quite a bit of sun during the day. Once the sun comes up and over, it kind of goes like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start planting these. Look how good. It's nice and filled in. And I am super excited for the beauty that is going to come from this garden. But all of my little seedlings that I started are in the ground. And now all I have to do is just take the seeds that I want to just kind of spread around and spread them around. I'm gonna again be kind of diligent or aware of where I'm planting these, because I want them spread out evenly, but there's not a lot of seeds in some of these packs. So I'm just going to strategically place some of them, and the other ones I will just sprinkle on. All right, back to the greenhouse, where I am just going to start planting some of these flowers. And I already have tomatoes in here, so I'm going to start with the next row, and I'm just going in with one seed because I don't need a whole bunch more flowers. So coneflowers I'm just going to do, that one accidentally got two. So coneflower. Ooh. Next is straw flower. These are tiny, so it's going to be pretty hard to just get one in there, so I'll do about 3. Straw flower. Did I say coneflower or straw flower? I don't know. These ones are copper red. This is a king size red. I might even spread some of those out there, but I'm not 100% sure. Rudbeckia. These ones remind me of those ones. The reason I don't really like directly just like sprinkling these out in the flower bed is because I don't know what it is when it's coming up. And then snapdragons. These are very, very tiny, and I believe these are light. Yeah, so these need light to germinate, so you don't really cover them. And I'm gonna do 2 different ones here, so I'm gonna put quite a few in the first 3. They're both gonna be snapdragons, just a little bit different. And then this one is going in the back 3. I can't even tell if they're coming out. And of course, labeling. So I've got coneflower, silvery rose, strawflower, copper red, king red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then snap dragon. Just like that, and then these will go on the heat mat. Like I said, I'm super excited for my spring flower bed to get started. I can't wait to start cutting them and making flower arrangements, bringing them to work, sharing them with everybody, and just driving up and seeing my beautiful flower beds. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Spring is here. Get out there, grow a garden, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.